Hey, y'all, what's up? So Smackdown, ooh, such a roller coaster for me. Especially the last 2 minutes. I literally was about to cry. Okay. Um, I was on the verge of tears. I normally record right after I'm finished, so I don't lose anything. And then it takes a while for it to load because it's loading up from my phone, just as a fan. But today was overwhelming. Like the first match was, excuse me, the first thing they brought up was a lot of things happened tonight. I guess because this is the last Smackdown of March and it's Women's History Month. So I'm glad that the women showed out, okay? The women got the major event match as it should. And I said Women's History Month, we should have half of the promos and matches or one more than the men because it's Women's History Month. Like I said that last year. I'm standing on what I said 2024, okay? So, yeah, and then I watched Raw. What was it, yesterday? That thing was out of control. You hear me? Like, Shinsuke is crazy as hell. I love him though. I love him as a heel. Crazy as hell, okay? The CM Punk bit with Drew out coming out and then Seth coming out, that was good. Then Shinsuke versus Jay. But the lead up, like when Solo and Jimmy came out, was great. And then Candice LeRae versus Ivy Now. And then her taking a hit at Maxine. And then Indy was like, I'm done with this. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on. Okay. And then Rhea versus Becky in their promo. And then actually Becky leaving the promo. And Rebecca coming out because the emotions when she talked about her daughter and her father. Every time she talked about her dad, I'm like, that's no longer Becky, that's Rebecca, okay? And then the whole situation with DIY versus the New Day. Truth and Miz coming out and talking about what he called him. He called him Shawn Michaels and Triple A. And then said we going out there with, I forgot who he said. And then they said I forgot who he thought was commentating. He said McAfee. And then when like Judgment Day came out and they came to get Truth. And I was like, go ahead, Miz, because Miz was like, I'm not gonna sit here for this no more. My new growth is coming back. And he's like, cut to commercial. Like, cut to commercial. They went, cut to commercial. And I was like, Dom been out there 3 times. Dom been out there to help JD. Ricochet still won. He went out there with the tag team match. He ain't even a part of the tag team thing. Went out there, got a little beat up a little bit, and then went out there with Rhea. And I was like, that poor man getting beat up. Okay. Then the whole situation with Cody and The Rock, like that ending was crazy. And then I just saw the video of it's like the thing went off, but I'm still gonna do whatever. Excuse me. And I was like, then it's Pat wearing a Versace shirt and The Rock got on that vest. And then I was concerned because, he fighting Jimmy, they go out, whatever. Solo, they go out, whatever. But then I'm like, is that just water dripping from the garage? Because sometimes when it rains, when you're under like a garage or something setting, water still drips even though it stopped. So I'm like, no, that's rain. I'm like, then they in Chicago, right? Chicago, it's cold as hell up there. Like, it's nighttime. They're out behind, right? So it's, regardless if it's a 10 going on 11 or 9 going on 10, it is still cold. Cody getting beat in the cold. Then he got an open wound. So now it's blood coming out. Then it's cold water on the blood. Then you getting beat. I'm now concerned not only for his safety, but for his health. Like, this man could catch pneumonia. And you just beating him out here in the rain. Then I don't know what it is about Rock's voice in that bit, but it sounded cringe to me. Like, not heel cringe, like another type of cringe. I don't know. It might just be me. But then tonight goes into so much is on my brain. Like, I can't even. Who was the first match? I want to say it was not here. It was KO and Randy versus Pretty Deadly, right? Am I right? So Lee, okay, y'all know every week I'm production, okay, every week. But like Lee, you gotta warn somebody. Like, I just need to stay alert because I was tweeting, and then I look up and that daggone viper came off. It scares me every time, because every time I'm sitting there like this and I glance up and it's like this. I'm like, the hell going on? Like, what is going on? Okay, so I'm doing all that, right? Doing that. KO has one of the best graphics to me personally, because KO stands for knockout, and then he has a wrecking ball that comes into, like, it's simple but it's like complex. So visuals for me, visuals and the meaning behind the visuals. Before I even get into all that, so I'm looking at bits of like Becky's interviews and stuff like that, and how she said she at one point she was gonna go to TNA, but that's not even the one I'm talking about. She was talking about Ronda Rousey at one point, and then she was talking about respectfully, so I have nothing like bad to say about that. But then it was like caught a bit of her saying something about storytelling comes first, promos come first, the talent in wrestling comes second. So a lot of people are like, no. I 100% agree, okay? That's what draws me in to watching it. Like, that's what my mindset is. Because to me, you can have, all of the people are talented. We know they're talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know they have the capability to wrestle. Greatest ones in the world. We're not negating that. But can you draw people in? Can you get people to like you, feel sad for you, be happy for you, boo you? Like, can you get that effect from people? Like, that's the thing. And like she said, wrestling against someone is telling a story in itself because you're both in the ring. But if you don't have no backup behind it, like we the hell don't know. Like, why are y'all wrestling? We don't know. We're just like, okay, they're pretty good. And for me, it's the connection of the two. Because if you have great wrestling, right, but your story isn't all that great, I don't know. I don't know if I could get with it. Honestly, I feel like if you had better promos and the wrestling was decent, I can get with that better than having a semi-good promo and excellent wrestling. Like, it has to be chemistry there. Like, not just with the promos, but just like genuine chemistry. And that, I feel like the promos and the stories help with that. And then when you guys get in the ring and that's part of your artistry, then that also helps with that, because then it helps the crowd get engaged. Like, the crowd also helps, because if we're tied into your story and we're seeing it, so we're gasping or we're like in shock or we're cheering or something like that, then it makes it more interesting. And my hair looks a mess. But in this one piece right here, I don't know what it wants to do. But so yeah, like I don't. So for me, it's like that's the main part for me, because if it wasn't, I would be watching other organizations. Keeping it real, like honestly, like I don't watch certain organizations because they are trying to work their way up to good storytelling, but it's not good. And then certain ones, it's like they don't have it at all. It's very few exceptions that I'll watch, like certain people, just because I'm a fan of them, no matter what organization they're in. Or I'll try to stick with it for a long time, and never like, nah, dog, I can't do it. But yeah, so them two came out. Pretty Deadly came out. I don't understand the crystal ball graphic. If they have a crystal ball in the ring, I still don't understand it. I'm trying to figure out if their song is inspired from ABBA, or is it an ABBA song? Like, I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, it sounds very much ABBA, like Dancing Queen. It sounds very much. That sounds like that. ABBA, I don't know. If they did, that's good. Like, because it's a lot of wrestlers that have artists featured on their stuff. I'm not hating on it. I'm just wondering. The stuff I tweet and stuff like that is never like hate. I don't mean to be malicious. I'm genuinely curious. Like, it's not like I had tweeted something to Sam yesterday, and it wasn't no intent of like being mean. I was just curious because stuff happens, you know, and I just want to know, because if she was, then I was going to be excited, like super happy, like I love her and Ricochet together. But if she wasn't, that's fine too. Like, live your life. I have nothing, you know, nothing bad to say about anyone. I'm big at my big age. I'm too grown for that. Like, if I feel like I have to say something to you, or if I need to say something that I feel like might not come off the right way, because sometimes my delivery can be wrong in any aspect, I'm just gonna say it to your face. Like, I'm not going to hide behind the phone or stuff like that. Like, if I'm trying to be malicious, but I don't really honestly try to be malicious. Like, if you ask me for my honest opinion, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I've always been like that. If you ask me for my opinion, I'm gonna give it to you honestly. I'm not gonna be like try to sugarcoat it to make you feel better. You came to me for a reason. Like, you know, I'm gonna give it to you 100. Now, my tone and stuff I might could work on when I give it to you, but it's gonna come out the truth regardless. Still working on that, okay? I'm still working on that. But it's a lot. So I saw Elton Prince getting beat up by KO. I don't even remember when Kit got into the ring. I think I went to go to the restroom or go check on my son upstairs. Came back downstairs. It was Randy had Kit and was about to hit him or do something to him on the announcement table. Okay. And then Logan come up from under the mat ring and hits KO with the brass knuckles. First the hell of all, how long that man been under the ring? That's what I want to know. Questions that need answered. Why? How long he been under that ring? And do it stink under there? And like, it's hard under there. It ain't nothing but concrete, right? So what is we doing? And then after he did that, Randy got upset that KO, like, they lost before he watched the playback. But why didn't Logan just go back up the ramp with them? Like, why he go back under the ring? And I didn't even see him go back under the ring. Like, what? I was like, what is happening? So when they was like, he down there, and I was like, down where? So he went to go get him. They went and through the audience and what else? To the side where the audience is. So LJ and I sat there in July for Smackdown. We sat in the side of the back where I could see like kind of backstage, but you could also see like where production and stuff do their stuff, like on the side, and all the tape. Like, we sat there. So when he passed out, I was like, oh, okay, cameras following him. I know the camera people got their workout today, running, chasing after Randy. Like, I haven't seen that since the 2000s. So that happened. And then what happened after that? I feel like it was a lot, but it wasn't so much in a little bit. And then I want to say after that they brought out Jade. That's what I want to say, but I could be misplacing stuff. But I think I want to say they brought out Jade. And when they brought her out, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen her in red. She looks good in red. So, Wade, and it was like, she's one of the most perfect human beings I've ever seen. Like body-wise, muscle-wise, face-wise. Like, she got it. And he's not the only person that said that, because I think Kevin Nash has said something like that in the interview. Like, if you wanted to look and see what a real-life superhero looked like, Jade is it. Like, Jade is, man. Okay. So then, it was, who else was it? So then it ended up being, I'm over here watching WWE playback, like I ain't to watch it live. And then it ended up being, Street Profits and, A-Town Down Under, which I was surprised. I was confused because I thought last week, I confused myself because I honestly thought that they would have to fight Legado del Fantasma or they had to fight New Catch Republic, but I was wrong. So Montez and them came out. Montez started it, and then people, Graves and them was like, he's such a phenomenal like athlete, such a spectacular performer, this, that, and the third. And I was like, yes, been saying that for years. Like, such a great talent. Watch Love in WWE, such a great person. But even before I watched that, I follow him on Instagram and Twitter. Like, he seems like he's a great person. Like, his mama raised him right. Like, just seems great. Like, I can see him having, and this is what I want. I want him to have a singles and a tag team title. Like, I want both for him. Like, I already told y'all that in today's current day in WWE, Montez is one of the best on the mic. He's one of the best to cut a promo, in my opinion. This before CM Punk came back, I can't remember what his promos were like, except for the two that I've seen him do. But like him, Seth, who else did I say? I said the Usos. I think I put the Usos in there at one point in time. Like, as far as men, him, Seth, the Usos, I want to say Woods, and I think it was somebody else from Raw. I want to say, I can't remember who it was. It might have been KO. Well, he used to be on Raw. No, it was Miz. But yeah, like, he can cut a promo. He's very athletic, very quick. Like, you could promote him. He looks good in the suit. Like, he's one of those types that he can go to like a black tie function if WWE had one, but also wear like casual gear, hood gear, look great in wrestling gear, cut a great promo. I see so much for him. I just want him to get the shine that he deserves. I think it's his time. His time is coming up. I think so. Very much so. They were getting it. Dawkins had, was it Theory? I think Dawkins had Theory, had him with the suplex. Man, I'm about to get some money. Hit him with the suplex. And then Karrion and Scarlett come on the screen. They beat up Bobby and B-Fab. And, excuse me. So after I watched Raw the other day, I watched on YouTube, it came on the factions of WWE so far. So then I've been calling Bobby and them because I ain't know what the hell. Like, they be like on the thing, like Bobby, lastly B-Fab, and the Street Profits. I'm like, that's too much to say. So I've just been like Bobby and them versus the Final Testament. They finally gave him a name called the Pride. So I was like, is it going to be the Pride versus the Final Testament, like a mixed tag team match? You know what I'm saying? Like how we had the family versus, dang, what's the name of that group? OTM and NXT. Like we want to get that because, I mean, they've been, Carrying and them been doing too much. Like they need to get put in their place. Okay. So they lost A-Town down under one. Then they put up a tweet like, we want a WrestleMania. I'm gonna say this. Grayson, if we don't get Deadline Grayson from NXT, the one that was the inaugural champion for the Iron Survivor match, I don't know if you get them titles, dog. Like, y'all going against vets. And I think every tag team but y'all, no. Yeah, I think every tag team but y'all are vets. Or at least work together for a while first. Like, I don't know. You might not. So, also, when it comes to them, like them two, I was like, they could be a faction. So when Pretty Deadly had first came out, before he hurt his arm and had to go in a wheelchair, Elton Prince, it was Theory was like helping him out. Because I think they was going against somebody that he didn't like, I think. So then Theory got with Grayson. So then after a while, it was Grayson, Theory, and it was Logan. But now, tonight, it's like Logan and Pretty Deadly. So at this point, y'all five might as well just become a faction. Like all of y'all similar, got like an ego type situation y'all can play off of. Pretty Deadly could bring the humor. Like do that. Everybody getting factions now. Hell, y'all might as well get one too. Shoot. And then like the three queens at the end of tonight's thing, they need to just be called BGM. They know what that stands for. Okay. But I don't know. Ooh, I know what they could be called. Okay. So if them three became a faction, they could be called the StormEST Glow. Or something like that. Or the Glowiest Storm. But I like the StormEST Glow. I don't know. One of them two. Okay. So after that, it was Legado del Fantasma came out because Santos had said some stuff, and then Dominic came out. So I was like, what is happening? So Dominic, he came out to thank Dominic, talking trash. Ray comes out. I was about to get excited again. Y'all know a lot happens in my week, and I be forgetting that he is there. Like, wasn't really a fan of his when he was out originally. I think I stopped watching by then. But most of the time in sports, if I'm not rooting for a certain team, I go for the underdog. Most of the time. Certain football teams I'm not cheering for. I don't care. Like the Cowboys, never cheering for them ever. Okay. And for basketball, UNC, never cheering for them ever. Like two teams ever, never cheering for. But anybody else, maybe. Some of them, maybe. But on the Patriots too, never ever cheering for them either. Never, ever cheering for. Okay, so, and I have the reasons. UNC, I'm never cheering for. I'm a Duke basketball fan. Raised around older cousins, they're boys. When I started playing basketball, my cousin had introduced me to Duke basketball, college basketball, and then being from the DC area, I watched Maryland basketball. So those are the only two college basketball teams I root for. So UNC is definitely out, okay? And then growing up in DMV, when the Redskins versus Cowboys play, you gotta pick a side. My mom's a Redskins fan. My grandma's a Redskins fan. My granddaddy's a Cowboys fan. But never liked the Cowboys. My cousins are Cowboys fans, never liked them. And we had to pick a side, and this was the year I think Emmett and them got a Super Bowl. What was that, 95, 96? So never. And then because I'm not a Redskins fan, I'm a Ravens fan. Because that's the next closest team to the DMV. Never picking the Patriots, especially when during the Tom Brady era. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay, so that's my reasoning. I could have said another team for the NFC, but I like cheer for them if I watch them, but I was really only a fan of theirs because at the time Brett Favre was my favorite QB, so I used to cheer for the Packers, but my uncle used to disown me because he's a Niners fan, so. But anyways, yeah. So I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I don't see. Oh, so yeah, I'm like a fan of the underdog. So he came out talking, and then before that, so after Jade went back, Damage Control had did their little promo, and Dakota had said something, was like, she done came out, so what does that mean? Talking about Jade. I said, you better watch what you say, okay? Because the last time y'all came in the hallway, she done stopped y'all in the hallway, like, basically y'all need to stop bullying people. Now you done put her name in your mouth, like, you can't do that, okay? Something's gonna happen. So, after that, like, LWO came out. Hold on. EO's bangs work for her, okay? Y'all know I'm all about hair. I didn't like that Neapolitan thing. And it wasn't the fact because it was a split wig. It was a fact because of the 3 colors. Like, I didn't like that. But the bangs with the little bit of pink in it and the pink back in her hair, I like, it looked good on her. And I liked Kiari's hair. Like, I liked the knot things. Like, I think that was cute. So yeah, that was very, very cute. And then they showed, so Zelina and them came out. Zelina looked phenomenal. You hear me? Between the wig, the makeup, and first thing I noticed was outfit. I said, okay, outfit. Like, girl, like, I don't know if she dressed herself. I know she dressed herself based off a video game character, because to me, that outfit was very much given, and that's not even the character she was dressed up like, but it was giving me kind of like Mortal Kombat Sonya, and I know she wasn't dressed like her, but that's what it reminded me of. Like, she was like one of those type characters. So, but yeah, like, her outfit was everything. You hear me? So then when they came out, it was like Dragon Lee's a new member LW. I was like, Dragon Lee's a new member, so he's officially on the roster for Raw. SmackDown, because I was confused. Because last year, you remember he had like 2 or 3 matches on SmackDown, but then he'll go back to NXT. And I know some superstars do both. Like the LWO does both sometimes. At one point in time, Judgment was over there. At one point in time, Alpha Academy was over there for a while. Natalya was there on Tuesday. Yeah, she's a vet. Like, but I didn't know, because I'm like, he's over there more than he's over here, so I didn't know. Like, Brian got signed to Raw, but he still be over there. So I know they're trying to do that, integrate people, to get people familiar with both. And not only for viewership, but so when you come to main roster, you won't be confused. So, because like, when they came to Raleigh 2 weeks ago, I think somebody started to whoop that trick chant. So the people that knew. Like, I knew. Me and my son was whoop that. Everybody else was looking around. I was like, you can tell who don't watch NXT. You ain't even gotta watch NXT to know that. Like, you can watch snips on YouTube. Like, how you don't? I need more water. My water's about to get low. But I'm like, how do you? And I was one of those people at first, because I was kind of familiar with Grayson because I started watching NXT when Solo got signed. I told somebody's like, you know who Solo? Because I was like, we need Vegas NXT Solo back. You know, like you knew him when he was signed on independent scene. I was like, honestly, came across him on accident. Like some of these people I came across on accident, I would just, you know how you watch certain videos or certain stuff, and then somebody else comes up. So I was like, I think my son had me watching the Chris Von Vliet interview with the Usos 5 years ago at WrestleMania, and they was talking about the match they're gonna have this year. And after that, the automatic play was like match of Solo, and I was like, who is that? But he had his long hair still. And then like the next video was like him getting interviewed. His hair was cut, but it was black. And they were trying to figure out, was he on AEW NXT? And then he come out and him and Carmelo got the beef or whatever. Like that was good TV. And he got injured. Excuse me. But he was the problem because his favorite athlete is AI, and AI's the answer. You know, so it's like I was watching heavy then, and then when he left and came to the main roster, I stopped watching, and then I watched again because became a fan of New Day. My son loves Usos New Day and Alpha Academy, so we watched that. Found out who Grayson and Braun and stuff like that was, and then so he came to the main roster. I wasn't surprised. You know what I'm saying? That's when I became a fan of Roxanne Perez too. So like I get the integration of like moving fans. I meant superstars back and forth, because if you got a big enough superstar, you gonna watch. And then I stopped watching NXT. Then freaking Cody Rhodes. So then was it Backlash or Fastlane when they won those titles, right? And like I knew who Tony and I knew who the family was because of React Channel. I tell you, I watch React Channel. I knew who like Trick was, knew who Carmella was. I knew who of course Mandy, because I watched Total Divas. I knew who, my brain is drawing a blank because my brain is like, go to bed. There was some other people I knew. I can't think of right now. But like I knew some of them from like other stuff. So the transition like wasn't hard. But then I stopped watching. And then when freaking Cody went on there and John Cena was there that day, and Undertaker was on there that day, I got introduced to some other people, and that's how I ended up watching. I was watching from, what was that, last it had to be in October, November, right? I want to say that's how I end up watching every week and catching up, and ended up watching Vengeance Day, which was really good because I did a video on it. But yeah, so the crossovers, if that's what you're trying to do, is to not only bring viewership but bring like fans, like make fans aware of who's up and coming and might be in the main roster in the future, that works. Yeah, but I didn't know that, so I was excited for that. And then so me and someone on X was talking about, I'm gonna call it Twitter because Mama named Twitter. So me and somebody on Twitter was talking about how they wanted Ray versus Dom, but they was like they needed a storyline or whatever, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't see that for this year. And they was like telling me that, you know, a father-son feud can go forever, which is true, but I'm like, it's so much more stuff that they can do. First of all, in my brain, I'm thinking about all the matches they have, and I don't know how long this one's gonna be, 3-4 hours each night, what's gonna be. Second of all, I'm like, we don't even know who the Kabuki Warriors are fighting for the tag team titles. Like, normally WrestleMania, every title is on the line. We know who everyone is fighting for every title but theirs. We know. So, not unless tonight solidifies who they're fighting, we still don't know. We don't know. Like, we know Seth and Drew. We know Cody and Roman. We know Gunther and Sammy. We know Logan, KO, and Randy. Okay, we know the 6-men tag team gauntlet match. That's the one I'm most anticipating. I can't wait for that one. We know Bayley and Io. We know Rhea and Becky. Like, I think the women's tag team match is the only one left. My opinion, though, would be BGM, Black Girl Magic, or the StormEST Glow versus the Kabuki Warriors and Io, and whoever if one of them get tagged, and it could be Io, it ain't even gotta be the Kabuki Warriors. They lose their tag team titles, but then it would be like, who would get the tag team titles? It's 3 of them, so I don't know. Like, I don't know, but their title needs to be on the line in some shape, form, or fashion. And then I'm thinking, now you done added Ray and them, so now I'm losing, like, what is that, 6 or 7 matches each one? And are some of these gonna be like pre-show matches, like how they had Street Profits and them do a pre-show match? That was a good match though last year. Like, it's gonna be like that, or is it gonna be like doing between after 7 o'clock when it's about to get dark outside? Like, what are we doing? Because we still only have 2 women's matches on there. We only have the 2 women's title matches. We don't have no other women's title. We don't have no other women's matches on there at all. At all. So I'm like confused a little bit. I mean, like, are we gonna have like a Nia and Liv match? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Santos and Dom versus the next Lucha, Dragon Lee and Ray. But then I'm like, what is Judgment Day gonna think when they find out? Because he didn't tell them. He didn't tell them at all. I will say I'm kind of upset that I haven't heard. I want to hear his promos now, because I said I watched Impulsive. Like, stuff plays on in the background while I'm at work, when I work from home. So I watched React, and then the next thing that she played was like Impulsive, Rhea Ripley's interview, and I'm not even subscribed to him. I guess it plays because I watched about 3 of his videos. So I watched about, I don't know, I watched the one with him and Seth, him and Randy, him and Triple H, him and Cody. Yeah. And I think I seen bits of the one of him and John Cena. But so it came on, and she was like talking about how it's good for her to be in a group because she has people to fall back on, like for promos and situations like that. So she was like, Dom cuts great promos. Like, he cuts great, but nobody ever knows because the fans boo him. So I'm like, now I want to hear what his promos, because they do boo him. When he came out on Monday, last Monday, I was cracking up, okay? Like, my thing's on 5%. I gotta put it on the charger. I was cracking up. So, hey, don't die on me. Yeah, so I was cracking up because I'm like, now I want to hear it, but I'm also kind of frustrated because I'm like, now I want to hear what you gotta say. I can't even, like, what? I'm tired, yo. I low-key want to pause this, wrap my hair, and put my bonnet on for real. I don't even have my I'm gonna put my bonnet on. But I'm like, I want to hear what he has to say. And he sounded like he was gonna say something good, but the crowd gets louder and louder. So I'm like, dang, can't even hear what he said. But then after that, who was that girl? Electric Lopez came out to Zelina. Zelina stopped her. That popped off. Santos got in Zelina's face. I think Ray got in Santos' face. Then it was a pop off, and I was like, oh. So the way you gonna go around and say, what is happening, L? Yeah, my son. So Ray gonna say it's not fair because they got injured prior to. You knew you had a match next. Like, who? That ain't their fault. Like, that's their fault. That's what I meant. That's their fault. That's not the other people's fault that they didn't get injured before the match. Like, why would you be stupid to do that? So you deserve to lose. Okay? And Tyler was on one anyway. I don't see them winning anyway. Like, he was showing out that match. I said, okay. Pete doesn't knock him out. He didn't even have to do the finger thing. So is my black bag over there? Where my black bag? Right there? Let me see that, please. I think my brush is in there. I'm about to wrap my hair. So he didn't have to do his finger thing. And then after that, I was like, okay, that happened. And then my favorite bit was the Naomi and Bianca look. So then they both show both of them. Okay, I know Bianca, my girl. So having Naomi's back, it's still weird calling her that. But I said, okay, both of them with the Metallica. So then she's hyping her up. Who's the strongest? Who's the fastest? No. And she's like, me. So then she stops. Bianca stops and does this. And I was like, that's Naomi's dance. So then when Naomi hit the I'm rooting for you, and she turned around and said, booyah. And then I lost it. But I was like, I love it because that's black culture for you. It's like she's paying homage to Babs. If you haven't seen that movie, go see it. Rip to Natalie DeSelly. I think that's how you say her last name. Don't want to butcher it. Rip to her. Phenomenal actress. She was in that. She was one of the stepsisters in Brandy Cinderella. She was in a Tyler Perry movie. She was in the show Eve. Like, she was a good actress. And then she passed away almost 4 years ago. Yeah, December 2020. And then so not only that was a play for that, but I've heard in the Bianca interview that Babs is one of her favorite movies. So I was like, that's so dope. So when they came out, I was like, I wonder when, first of all, I was like, I've never heard Dakota's own music, okay? I told you I only been watching for 2 years, so I don't rewatch it. So I don't even know what her music sounds like outside of Damage Control. They played it, okay? Yellow looks good on her. Like, yellow and hot pink are like two colors that look good on her. And I think she had on yellow tonight. Came out, Bianca came out, did her thing. And I was like, so when are the Kabuki Warriors gonna come out? They came out, you know, after she hit Dakota with that KOD. And that's when Naomi came out. When Naomi came out, I was like, ooh, I can't wait. Hold on, y'all. There we go, right quick. So I was like, I can't wait to see what happens after this. Because I didn't even realize it was the main event until I think Wade had said something. And I was like, oh snap, right? Wait, so my hair's not. So then, when the Kabuki Warriors came out, then I hear something, and I was like, people was going, Jade, 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 Jade. And I was like, no, no. Then I heard her music. I screamed. You hear me? I screamed. Like, and then she came walking down the aisle, or the ramp thing. What are you doing, boy? She came walking down the ramp thing. And she came kick somebody's foot first. I screamed again. My son ran down the stairs and was like, what? 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 So I was like, it's Jade. It's Jade. And someone, I guess people who aren't fans of hers, she was one of the reasons why I was watching AEW. But people who aren't fans of hers, and I honestly found her through Trinity on YouTube, on Instagram, because I follow her on Instagram. And you know, what's the name? And you know, she puts up like videos, or like she puts her TikTok videos up on Instagram. So then Jay was responding to a lot of them. That's how I found out who she was. And I think she had mentioned something about like Trinity's body being everything, which it is, okay? She called herself bottom happy, whatever. She, like her Bianca and Jade body are everything. So she had mentioned her body, and then I think Jay had responded and was like, no, your body, or something like that. I think Trinity had responded. And I still happened to look on her page, and I was like, who is this? And it was like AEW wrestling. I was like, there's a black girl in AEW? Like, that's literally how I figured out who she was. And that was maybe a year and a half ago. So it was like 6 months after. So I think I started rewatching WWE May of 2022. So I think it was like, I want to say October, November of 2022. I found out who Jade was. So, she was already in AEW for 2 years, but that's when I found out who she was. So people was like, so somebody on there was like, what is that? Like, what is she doing? It was like, I was like, that's her signature. I was like, when she, as a, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be off a number two. When she was 53-1, the TBS champion, that was her signature when she would pin someone. So people was like, oh, and then someone, I said, oh my God, and they all got on like silver or metallic. And I screamed again. And I was like, this is Black Girl Magic. And I was like, now I'm about to cry. And I thought it was just me. But someone else was like, it was so many women on there. And black women in particular, like, and women of color, they were like, y'all don't know how this affects women like us. And it's not just one type of black woman. Like some, like, you know, it's 3 women, different heights, different backgrounds, different journeys to get to where they are, different shades of black. So like all of them aren't light skinned, all of them aren't chocolate, all of them are brown skin, like one is each, you know, so everybody can see themselves in these 3 women, all on the same brand, like very much representation. When I was younger, the first ever women's champion that was black was Jacqueline. I was a huge Jacqueline fan. Like, love China down. You hear me? Like, when I got into it, like, Sable and China were talked about this before Trish came around. I knew who she was. But it was Sable and China for me. Trish came about. I liked her, but then it was Jacqueline and China for me. Then I saw, I don't know why I was a fan of Ivory's. I gotta rewatch it, but I was a fan of hers. Then I saw Jazz, another black girl, on there. Okay, then Lita had us all with the flips and all that, 'cause she's the one, honestly, that we saw on WWE on the main thing that changed the dynamic of what women could do in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we didn't see Lita, like, in that sense, it would be a lot of women right now that wouldn't be doing what they are doing in that sense. Or we would have had to wait until we saw it years later. Like, Lita set another standard. Like, these women, like Jacqueline, being the first black women's champion ever, and then like Alicia Fox being the first black Divas champion, and then Naomi being the first black Smackdown champion, and then Jade being the first black TBS champion and the longest reigning TBS champion, and then Bianca being the longest reigning modern Women's Day champion, and one of the two first African Americans to wrestle to main event WrestleMania, because someone had brought up Trick and Mello. They was like, and they're headline WrestleMania weekend. Like, they're the first. And they was like, aren't they the first black men to do that? And I was like, yeah. And somebody's like, they are the first black men to main event of a match at WrestleMania. But they was like, I was like, they aren't the first African Americans. And I'm so proud of WWE for that, because they shouted out the women first before they shouted out the men, and normally it's a man's industry. Okay. So I'm like, these three women have already have legacies. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was little, like I said, it was Jazz, it was Jacqueline, came out, was watching sparingly. Then I saw Karma. Okay. She wasn't on there long. I thought she stopped completely until I started rewatching TNA Impact when Trinity was on there, and realized she's in the Hall of Fame, the second Hall of Famer, and she was there, and she was Awesome Kong. So I was like, she looked familiar, and then I Googled her and I said, oh, like, I know her. But like, for women to see that, girls to see that, it's so much of, I see her, I can do that. It's so much of that. So I just love it. I just wonder what the gear is going to be. I know it's coming up. I don't care if it's Bianca, Naomi, Jade at ringside, so nothing go down. Why it's like the Kabuki Warriors versus Naomi and Jade, like, you know what I'm saying? And then Dakota be one side, Greta be outside, and it's a non-disqualification match. Like, I don't care what it is. Get them three on the thing today. You hear me? Like, I'm just so excited. Okay. I think I missed the thing where did I say something about Solo supposed to be fighting Jay next week? I don't think so. I told my son, and he was like, uh-oh. He said, I can't wait to see that match. And I said, really? And he was like, yeah. And then that whole LA Knight AJ Styles thing was crazy, because he looking for him. I was like, AJ Styles out of pocket for messing with that cameraman like that. I was like, he done turned heel. He don't even do the hand thing when he come out no more. And then I was like, so what is it called when you're not a heel but you're not a baby face? A halfie or something like that? I think that's what Rhea had called it on the show. Because I'm like, most of these people start off as heels. You know what I'm saying? And then people boo them, but then after a while people cheering them on, because the crowd be confused and they realize that they like the people. So I'm like, you're supposed to be a heel, but you're not really a heel. So I don't know. Like, what would you be called? I don't know. So I think that's how the Usos started out. That's how Roman started out. Rhea started out. Like, people cheer for them. I was like, I don't know. But yeah, so he was beating up such and such. And then he was yeah. So then they was thinking it was somebody, and I was like, wouldn't it be out of pocket if LA was at his house again? Cause I was like, hey, I don't think he gonna be there. It's gonna make him look like he crazy. So then he came up behind him with the glasses and that wig on. I was like, not the glasses and the wig. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Sting. When Sting used to be in the audience as himself, and they thought it was a person in the audience, but it was him. Like, or when they show clips of him coming to his opponents as him, as they show him. So they used to show like when they had all the Sting masks like in a row, and then he popped up the mask and it was him. Like, that's what that reminded me of. That's why I say this is the cinema era. It's like the Attitude Era with a twist, okay? We got modern technology. We got graphics and stuff. I was like, we got better representation for the women, better matches and stuff like that for the women. I was like, and we got these social media feuds, like, plus the great athleticism and the storytelling. Like, you can't beat that. Like, ever since this WrestleMania, this thing is in its bag, and I honestly would have went, but it's in Philly. It's too cold. Now, not unless enough people pray, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold. Cause somebody I follow was like, I'm spoiled by this Arizona weather. If y'all see me in WrestleMania like this, like, don't say nothing. I said, okay. I said, cause Philly 50 degrees is different from Arizona 50 degrees. Okay. Like, the people in Philly see 50, they gonna be in shorts. You gonna be looking like, what the hell wrong with y'all? And me fully bundled up. Okay, it's different. It's different. It's when you're used to a warmer climate, you can't handle certain stuff over certain, because my mama like that. She lived in Florida for what, 5 years? Is she really from DC? Moved to North Carolina, then moved to Florida, went there 5 years, came back up here, was complaining that everything was cold if it was less than 75. Like, what is wrong? Just moved back a year ago. I'm like, you a Floridian and you wasn't even down there that long. But if y'all not from a cold environment, or y'all not used to that type of situation, get you a North Face, a Columbia jacket, something. Because when that sun set, it's going to be something serious. The Eagles don't have no dome, which I don't understand why the colder places don't have domes. I kind of get it because of the weight of the snow, but y'all need to find something that could like prevent the thing from catering it. If not, I want WWE to have WrestleManias in the South and then have all the SummerSlams in the North, because it's hot everywhere in July. Like, do that, because it's too cold. Like, people gonna go regardless. Okay, diehards gonna go regardless. I will give fans that of any sport, any sporting event, because it'll be people that I know at the Baltimore games when the Ravens played, and you could see their breath while they breathing, not even talking. The wind is cold as hell, windy as hell. It might be flickers of snow, and they just outside cheering for their team. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not that much of a fan like that. I prefer my health. I will watch it. I'll hate that I'm missing it live, but I'm gonna be in the warmth, because I love cold weather, but I ain't doing all that. Not for that long. So y'all be safe, okay? Because I think after this Monday in Brooklyn, they go to Philly, which is what, 2.5 hours away from here? I know it's 2.5 hours away from DC. I think it's 2.5 hours away from New York too. So they're gonna be there from what, Tuesday to next Tuesday? That's a lot. Then WrestleMania week is always like the week after spring break. So kids just missing school and skipping school. That's another reason why I ain't go, because I got a 10-year-old and he need to go to school. Yeah, but y'all be safe. Stay warm. Don't get scammed. Okay? It's tax season. And a lot of y'all going to a city y'all ain't never been to. If you ain't got family there or don't know nobody that knows the area, stay in your vicinity, okay? Go to the wrestling events, eat local near your hotel, and go back to your hotel. Don't try to be no tourist that act like they not a tourist, because you're going to get messed up and robbed, okay? They are stealing cars and all of that up there like it's nobody's business. Philly is one of the murder capitals of the country, and it's been like that for 15 plus years. Okay. I think last year they weren't even all the way in January and had like 26 murders. So that's why I'm saying be safe. I got family up there. Like, I know. Because my cousin reported every day. Like, y'all just be safe. Plan ahead. Plan accordingly. Girls, y'all know. If you stand for 5 days, you need 15 outfits. Okay? Girl math. Okay? One for the day. Okay? A backup just in case you don't want the one that you thought you wanted to wear. And then something to wear in case you go out. Okay? 5 days. So, yeah. Now I'm just rambling. So I'm just go to bed because I'm sitting over here acting like I'm everybody's mother, telling them how to pack and stuff. That's none of my business. I'm not going. Anyways, I have be blessed. Have a good night. Love you all. Bye.